Good morning, nation. Nicole Bernard.
Good morning.
CMartyFit, Christopher Martin. Good morning, my friend.
Good morning, everyone. How you doing?
Fantastic. Thank you.
What's up, Nicole?
Good morning.
How's you guys today? It's Thursday, April 25th. We are coming here today from Manitoba, Canada, Portland, Oregon, and the east side of the country, Maryland. So, see, Marty, Chris, where exactly are you located? Exactly.
So I'm in Largo, Maryland, and
Okay.
that's right outside of Washington, D.C.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I'm right there. We call it the DMV because I'm super close. So
Yeah.
whatever happens in D.C. pretty much affects me. That's how close I am. So
Is that right? So you close like to the Capitol and take all the government stuff? Like, are you, is it,
All
just
of
like
that.
the White House, like right over there kind of thing?
yeah, it's real close.
Is that right, eh? Yeah. Excellent. Excellent.
Mhm.
So, nation, this morning, Keith and Nicole are going to sit down today with Christopher Martin, our friend CMartyFit. We want to get to know Chris today. So, Chris has been on the show. He was on Live in the Lab back in the early days when I first started getting this thing rolling. Nicole, I think he might have been right after you, actually, in the first 2 weeks or so. Been talking with Chris, nation, the last couple of weeks about doing some stuff with us here in the lab. Love Chris's attitude, love his work ethic, love where he comes from. But I thought today we would take a good majority of the show just chatting with Chris, Nicole, getting to know Chris, getting nation to know Chris, CMartyFit, and like when we dropped him today before the show, I said, see, Marty, I really want to get the message across to nation that there's we got Christopher Martin, not Chris Martin from Coldplay, and then we have CMartyFit, right? And what's the difference between the two? Who is CMartyFit? Who's Christopher Martin? So today I really want to spend some time chatting about that. I got a surprise for Creator Spotlight.
Okay.
He has no idea. I know I told C Marty this morning, Nicole, because C Marty had a little connection to this fellow. So I'm like, hey, you know what? This would be a good day to shine the light over our friends just down in the I think the Florida Panhandle, Chris.
I think that's where he is. I haven't spoken to him in a while, but
I know. Yeah. So this would be good. This would be good having you on the show. We're gonna create some content for this fellow. We'll shine the light on him, and we'll see what happens with that. So the Creator Spotlight's just taking a life of its own on every single day. I got people knocking on my door saying, "Hey, can I shine the light on somebody?" Hold on. You got to be on the show first.
Right.
Oh, everybody, how was yesterday? Dudes, I dragged my ass yesterday.
Yeah, I didn't hear from you yesterday, man.
I didn't either. Did you nap?
Nicole, I just think he doesn't like us. I think that's all.
I know.
He doesn't like us. Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah. When I don't hear from him, I'm like, what's going on with Keith?
Yeah, something's got to be going on.
Yeah, right. No, I was trying to find some sleep after my see, Marty, the last thing you saw from me was, I think, the message I sent after the hockey game on that would have been Tuesday night, and it was a late night Tuesday. So Nicole, see, Marty, I got off the show yesterday and got my teammates, Melissa and Jimmy. Are you okay? I'm like, what? Where was the energy this morning? I'm like, come on, man. I didn't go to bed till like 1:30. I only got a few hours of sleep, getting gears from my team. Like, what the hell?
It happens. We're human, you know.
Oh, is that what we are?
Yeah. I know it's hard to believe, but yeah, we are human. Yeah.
But the key is just getting going, isn't it, guys? It's just showing up, right, Marty? I know that's your big attitude, is just showing up, right?
That's it. You got to show up even when you don't feel like it.
That's it. Mm-hmm. That's exactly it. Exactly. Nicole, how was your day yesterday?
It was great. A lot of work stuff. I don't know. All the days seem to blend together recently. It was great. It was good.
Especially when the day starts so early for you, eh? So I see sun's up in your world today, this morning?
It's not up quite yet. It starts to pop through my window as we're talking, so that's kind of nice. So in the summer soon, it'll be setting. It'll be light till like 10 at night and bright by 4.
Yeah,
it's always fun. Just a long
exactly. And the sun's way up in your world, isn't it, C Marty? Because you're it's 8 o'clock in your world, so sun's up pretty early. Eh?
Yeah, and I've been up for a while too. So
yeah. Do you get them? So since we've been doing this, do you get in, Marty, before you? Do you do a lift, or do you get any stretching in before we sit down with this, or do you how has your routine just changed this week with doing this with us?
It's the same. I'm still going to lift after. I always lift after I train. So
do you?
Yeah. So I'll lift after this. I'll probably do some stuff on my computer.
Okay.
And I'll go lift.
I need to get my physical fitness thing done before I can sit down. Like I have to, because I get so caught up with, like it's a mental thing for me. Like I really have to do my stuff in the morning. If I don't, I'm an ornery biatch. Like I am. I'm just like, dude, I got to get my shit done first thing in the morning. Sorry, Nicole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I get it. Well, I'm training early, so I'm not getting up earlier than that to get my lift in. So it's early enough. I'm good.
Yeah. Exactly. How was your day yesterday? CMartyFit, what did you do yesterday? I know, we didn't connect much yesterday. You had an active day yesterday. How was your day yesterday?
It was good, man. Very productive. Got trained my clients, trained myself, did a podcast, worked on some content.
Oh, nice.
So it was a pretty productive day.
That's awesome. So when we get into Chris here, Nicole, I'm not sure if what we were a little bit of a prescript for him, but Marty Fit's not just a coach. I posted something this morning. He's a catalyst for transformation. I know I got some remarks on that. It's a strong word, catalyst for transformation. I know, Marty, I've seen some of your content. People might say it's controversial. People might say that you're questioning people to question themselves. Right, with some stuff you put out there, and with something provocative, but the reality is that you can't transform without being provoked. I would say,
absolutely. And first step is looking in the mirror, and a lot of people don't like to look in the mirror.
Yeah,
and that's why it's controversial because anytime you ask people to take inventory or be honest with themselves, there's a problem. Whether that's financial, whether that's fitness, relationships, family, it doesn't matter. And so my content is I'm really big on making people look in the mirror. And then at this point, as far as my coaching, like I want a certain type of client.
Yeah.
I kind of don't have time for the BS. I don't have time for excuses, complaints. And I'm cool with working with people and changing their mindset, of course, because you're not going to come to me with the beast mode mindset, more than likely.
Yes.
So I understand I'm going to have to work, but you got to be willing to work. You got to be coachable. And so my content specifically, it kind of weeds out those people who aren't willing to change. And so it's perfect. So sometimes the money that lands in my lap is super easy. I don't have to, break my back, bend over backwards to try to change someone, because that gets annoying as, being a trainer, because fitness is already hard enough. Yep.
Yeah.
Isn't that true though, right? It's hard enough to try to change somebody if they're coming in with the wrong attitude to start with. Like what's really even the point, right? Because you're not about trying to change that first step. They already got to take the first step themselves.
Well, you can't change them, right? Don't they have to be willing and ready?
You got to be willing to change. And it's like what you've been doing hasn't worked. So if that's not working, you probably need to change. Something has to change. So your way doesn't work. You don't know what you're doing. So let me take over and just listen.
I'm talking with creators every day here across the platforms, and people are like, Keith, I don't know what to post. I don't know what to post every single day. And I say to myself, well, just look around your world. There's something that is in your world you can post today. And I'm bringing this up because there's something on my desk here, and I was going to have some laughter with you two here. So I don't know about you guys, but when I'm tired, I chase carbohydrates. Like I chase crappy food, right? If I'm tired, if I didn't get sleep the night before. So on my desk, I will be vulnerable in front of my friend CMartyFit, my trainer. No, Nicole, I didn't open this. This is still closed.
I was waiting. Okay.
Yeah. Hey, Keith, I can't associate with you doing that.
You're clearly not ready to change, Keith.
You're not ready to change.
Nicole,
you got the wrong mindset.
This is why I got CMartyFit on the show, man, because I need an accountability partner.
Come on, man.
So, you guys know why I didn't call yesterday? Well, I might have crushed the fucking bunny.
Oh, wow. You took him down.
Oh, man. Hey, we got some work to do. You ate the whole thing yesterday? Keith, we're going to talk after the show. We got to talk.
It's bad enough as it is, Nicole. When I order pizza, I think about CMartyFit because of a conversation we had on the show when we first started. And he's like, I'm like, yeah, I love my pizza. And he's like, yeah, so do I. I'm like, yeah, but I love it every week. And he looks at me like, no, man, you can't have pizza every week.
Not every week. You at this rate, you get pizza once a quarter. That's what you get now. That's crazy.
When can I have my chocolate bunny, Chris?
Next quarter. And the quarter just started. Right.
So I will tell you both, though.
You better stop pulling stuff off your desk.
Like, what's going on over there? Like, what do we?
I got the tickle trunk because I got another bunny.
Oh my God.
Give that to the
Marty
kids.
Fit just fired you.
Yeah, he's done.
This is the best opening segment ever on the morning show, I think.
He wants me to make a video about him. That's what he wants me to do. Get the snacks off your desk.
Oh man, I said to Nicole, because you were still sleeping, Nicole, so I knew I couldn't text you, so I was texting Marty this morning. And I'm like, dude, it's good. I'm not really prepared this morning. Because no, man, you're a pro. You got this. I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna show the chocolate on my desk, and that'll be part of our conversation here this morning.
Man,
are there any more, or are those the only?
I'm in shock.
No, that is it.
I'm appalled.
Okay, well, here's the truth, team. Here's the truth. All right, so I got kids, as you know, and my kids just weren't eating the chocolates. And so there's a gym on the other side of this wall over there. Chris, I showed you pictures. Nicole, so there's a gym on the other side of this wall over there. Well, my kids' bedrooms are just down the hallway outside of the gym. And outside their bedroom is a table with their chocolates on it. Well, they weren't eating them. And I was tired yesterday. And I was like, well, just a little bite of the bunny ear will be okay.
Just a little ear nibble.
Well, then one ear went to the second ear, went to the trunk of the bunny, went to the rear end of the bunny. Next thing you know, the bunny was gone. So,
wow.
Yeah. So listen, I know people are tuning in this morning. See Marty Fit and Nicole that are all struggling.
Maybe not now.
Struggling with the same things that I struggle with, which is chocolate on the desk. What's the solution for that? Get the chocolate off the desk?
Yeah, that's probably step number one. Step one.
Step one, get the chocolate.
Then I tell my clients all the time, once you go a while without, falling into that weakness of chocolate or whatever the weakness is, your taste buds change.
It's so true. It's so true. Yeah. Do you find that, Nicole? Nicole's looking at you.
I was just like, wow, maybe clearly I don't. Okay, that's good to know because I also have a chocolate problem, so I'm only bashing Keith
Nicole.
It's like
What's going on today?
Nicole, I think we've lost the co-host. I think that CMarty's like,
what the hell?
What the hell am I doing on this show with these people, man? They do not support my values, he's thinking. Oh man, this is fantastic. All right, so hey, we've killed the first 15 minutes of the show. So those of you that are just tuning in, you guys you're off to the races here with some great content this morning. And my mouse will not go to my screen here for some damn reason. There it is right over there. So hey, I want to pivot the chat to our accountability check-in. This time in the morning, my post goes up on LinkedIn at 7:16 Central Time, 8:16 Eastern Time, Chris, where I make this strategic post. Drives conversation. And today's post, the accountability check-in it is all about CMartyFit, and it's all about Nicole Bernard. What happens in life? You have three choices. Chris, you're going to like this one. So I use this metaphor in the gym on the squat rack, right? To me, I love the squat rack and the squat because it's the ultimate metaphor for life, right? You get all this weight on your shoulders and you go down. You really got one of three choices, right? You can grind it out to stand back up. You can fold, or you can quit. right? And that really to me is what life's all about, right? Like, yesterday I had a full day ahead of me, and I had one of three choices I could do. I could have kind of made my way through the day. I could have quit, or I could have just rose to the occasion. I chose to rise to the occasion, crush some chocolate along the way. But it's we all know the easy path for most is to fold, right? It's the low risk route that keeps you stuck in the same place. Quitting is the dead end. It's the door that slams shut. But man, when you're under that bar doing that squat, when you rise, oh man, that's where the magic happens, right? Those 2 or 3 or 4 seconds going to the top and getting that bar up the top and then just getting it on the rack. That's just the ultimate metaphor, because when you rise, Nicole, CMartyFit, you push past your limits, right? You tap into that inner strength of shit. I didn't think I can do that, but I've done it. And then you look in the mirror because you're standing in front of it and you discover who you really are. I think that, you find your power by refusing to settle and you dare to aim higher. Not always pretty, we know, but in my experience, it's very much worth it, right? So, as you're going through your day today, nation, I would encourage you to think about those 3 choices you have. If you're stepping into a meeting, stepping into a situation with a client, Chris or Nicole, or just stepping into a situation with your family, you got 3 choices. You can fold, you can just quit altogether, or you can find the power within to rise to the top. And not about taking shortcuts. It's not about quitting when it's hard. It's really about rising every single moment and just finding a way to get to the top. It really is. See, Marty, what's your thoughts on that accountability check-in today?
Yeah, absolutely. It's human nature to be uncomfortable. A lot of people are not comfortable being uncomfortable, and that's why they neglect the gym, or they try to look for a different solution. I'm just going to get surgery. I'm just going to wear the waist trainer.
Yeah.
So they look for all these shortcuts, and a lot of people do that when they just avoid the work. A lot of people. That's just how it is, and the same with some people might do like a pyramid scheme or a side hustle. Sorry, no offense to anyone watching, but you'll try to get rich quick instead of grinding it out when business gets slow, or you'll switch businesses, right? You'll quit your business and go get a regular job, and then you look up one day and like, dang, I should have stuck with it. So that's just it's just human nature, and the more you go against human nature, that's when you'll reach your goals.
Isn't that true? The more you go against human nature, right? It's that walking towards fire, right? I know Nicole, her joy, see Marty, is doing endurance style racing, right? In long marathon. She's doing an ultra marathon in June. And that's choosing something that's not normal. That's going against the norm.
Absolutely.
Right? Pushing yourself to your uncomfortable, right?
Oh,
so,
and I want to add too, it's like, so we talk about our muscles, like physical, like what you can see, our muscles, but we have muscles in our mind too, like the discipline muscle, the muscle of consistency. And when you said that Nicole does the marathons and the endurance races, that's a mental muscle for sure.
Yes.
I mean, that's not easy at all. So respect to you, Nicole. But
Thank you.
So yeah. So the more you work your body physically, the more you increase that mental muscle. And we always talk about applying what you use in the gym to other areas of your life.
Yeah.
So true. It's so true, especially to business too, right? So,
Yeah.
All right. So we're 20 minutes into the show. We're going to do a quick coffee break. I'm going to throw a 2-minute clip on the board here, which is a little commercial I've been running here just as we keep building the brand here. So I invite Nation, go grab yourself a coffee, refresh your water. We'll be back in 2 minutes. We're going to dig into a conversation with Christopher Martin, CMartyFit, exactly, with that coffee. Nicole, Chris, myself, we'll be back in less than 2 minutes. We're going to put this on right now for everybody.
And
that saying?
Oh, tell me what's that? Don't crush the chocolate? No, I'm not crushing the
said,
chocolate.
don't put sugar in that coffee either.
No, I'm a black coffee dude, man. I never drank coffee up until I met Lauren, my wife, here 7 years ago, and she stayed over the first night, and she's like, "Where's the coffee machine?" I guess we're going to Canadian Tire to buy one. So from that moment on, Chris, I've been drinking coffee, black coffee all along.
Cool. Sorry about that.
No.
No, don't put a little bunny ear in it either, Keith.
No. Go get your coffee.
Gotta watch him.
We're back in 2 minutes.
That saying about achieving anything you put your mind to? I'm a big believer in that kind of thinking because it worked for me. I literally took a blank piece of paper, created value in it from thin air, and turned it into 50 million bucks. And it all started with this idea, this ambition, this resilient attitude of never giving up. Iterate, and a determination to achieve the biggest, most audacious goal. I wanted to make lots of cash. That's how ICUC, an industry leader in the social media management company, was born many years ago. Now, I'm using all of that experience, all the experience to create the world's biggest talk show right here on LinkedIn. And you're invited for the ride. The day starts with mornings in the lab where I sit down with Nicole Bernard and we meet with interesting humans from around the world to have inspiring, interesting conversations with people looking to achieve their biggest goals. And we shine the light on them in our creator spotlight. We talk about business, athletics, AI, adventure, performance. We sneak in some pop culture. We talk longevity, because I'm old, and some lifestyle. Then, live in the lab with Keith Billis, 1 o'clock Eastern time, where I meet, I speak, I talk to the world's most interesting human beings. We sit down for an hour plus, and get into it. The script? There is no script. Our morning show, well, the morning show goes at 8 a.m. Eastern time. Oh, and by the way, what's my offer? My offer is me. So I invite you to join me in the lab daily for conversation, fun, humor, and if you're bored, just come hang out. Come join the conversation live in the lab with myself, and then mornings in the lab with Nicole Bernard. We'll see you guys. We'll see you tomorrow.
All right, there's my little clip. Been shooting some side clips to throw in the show. See Marty, Nicole. Thursday, April 25th, joining us here today, Chris Martin, CMartyFit, Nicole Bernard. Before we get into CMartyFit, I want to just talk about something quickly here this morning that I posted on LinkedIn as I was getting ready for the show this morning. And it was just supporting a comment from Jasmine Alik, and it's just this idea of kindness. You know, I know that, Nicole, you're big on kindness. You know, Marty, I know you are as well. And, you know, we deliver our messaging in our own way. But I'm a huge advocate for being obsessively kind. It's part of who I am, part of my manifesto. Do I have strong opinions? Oh, damn rights I do. But when I disagree with them, and I just want to offer this up this morning, my goal and my ambition is to do it with kindness. And that is really what I'm trying to do here on the show. And I know that, Nicole, you're of the same opinion. I know, Christy, are you too? Which is, we can disagree. We don't have to all drink the same Kool-Aid. But there's a way that we can find conversation with kindness. And that's really the mission that I'm trying to bring here with the branding and with the lab, is that let's have good dialogue. Let's not always have to, agree on something, but let's just be able to have the conversation with kindness. And I want to start it off, Chris. We're gonna shine a light on you right now and move over to conversation with CMartyFit, get to know CMartyFit, Chris Martin. And one of the topics I do want to weave into the conversation this morning, CMarty, is because I think we probably have some similar views on this, which is how the world is really tackling weight loss drugs, Ozempic, Wegovy, right? I grew up with having to train, having to do all the hard work. And now we have a generation of people that are just going to pop a pill or pop a needle and magic is happening. So we'll get to that in a few minutes. And I wanted to weave that into kindness because I think that that's a conversation that could quickly, not with you, Chris or Nicole, but for many could quickly evolve to non-kindness and quick judgment, right? So I want to bring that into the chat here in a few moments, but let's set it up. Who's Christopher Martin and who's CMartyFit? When you and I sat down on Live and Lab a few months ago, you told me your journey. The pandemic, D1 athlete, ended up in LA with nothing, started a business, with training some pretty high profile people. Then pandemic happened, and you're like, holy smokes, I got to go and figure stuff out. Went back to Washington and built a business for yourself. I think I paraphrased that quite well. But let's start with who's Christopher Martin, and then how did we get to CMartyFit? Chris.
A lot of people don't believe this, but I'm actually a really laid back guy. It's crazy, I know, right? But I'm a really laid back guy. I don't do much. I don't party a lot. I have fun. I love to travel. I'm a nerd. I'm always trying to learn new information. Always reading something.
Yeah.
And I'm really passionate about fitness, as you know. And, fitness changed my life. And I see what it's done for me and my mindset and my perspective on life. And I want that for everybody. So that's Chris. I'm a kind person, nice guy. People love me. You love me or you hate me. There's no in between. So, and way more people love me than hate me. Now, for real.
Cool. Noted.
No, yeah. Now, when it comes to CMartyFit, that's the coach. Right?
Yeah.
That's a totally different person. A lot of people do not like that guy, and I'm cool with that. That's the opposite. More people don't like CMartyFit than like CMartyFit.
Yes.
But people respect CMartyFit. And I'm always going to tell the truth. I have a way of delivery, and my delivery is more so of, it's entertainment. Nobody wants to hear, you have to go to the gym, guys. Nobody would respond to that or watch that. So I have to do it my way. So I have to do it in my clever way, and either like it or you don't. And but the clients who can look at me with some emotional maturity, get past the jokes, get past the rhymes or the phrases I use, they end up loving me, and I end up changing their life. And I have clients who no longer train with me, but I changed their life, and I instill fitness in them. I instilled a different mindset in them, and they still live it to this day. And you don't have to train with me forever, but if I can do that for you, then I fulfill my purpose in your life. So that's CMartyFit for you.
I like that. And it's interesting, Nicole, because when I met Chris, I'll stay with Chris for a few moments. When I met with Chris, he struck me as a really kind soul, Nicole. Mm-hmm. And as I was getting to know him, he struck me that he was nerdy like myself. He struck me that he was always wanting to learn, always wanting to roll his sleeves up. And truthfully, Chris, you did strike me as a boring, laid back guy, because that's really what. So I know I come across on here as perhaps extroverted and out there, but truthfully, I'm a pretty nerdy, quiet dude who just likes to learn and do his own thing and go to bed early and so forth. So as I was getting to know you, I could quickly recognize who you were as a human being. And then when I started watching you on Instagram and getting to know you after our show and seeing the CMartyFit persona came out, that's when I really started to love you, because to me, it really showed who you really were, your passion, what you're trying to help people with. And I loved how you, Chris, you were able to weave the foundation of who Christopher Martin is, but here's CMartyFit that's going to help you get to your goal. Mm-hmm. Right? How do you balance the two personas in a world of personal branding? Because when I look at you, I think of Marshall Mathers and Eminem, or I think of like the rap game, right? We have our persona and we have our real name, right? So, but yet the persona is rooted in who we really are, right? Yeah. So when you're CMartyFit, you're still reaching back into Christopher Martin all the time, aren't you? The values that mom and dad raised you with. Because I know when I met you, my friend, it struck me that the values that you really much have entrenched in you, your work ethic, like mom and dad really focused on making sure this young man was going to get his crap together.
Yep. No, I absolutely. And I think, I think it's basketball.
Yeah.
I grew up an only child, no siblings. And so my basketball teammates were like my brothers, and it's like, they look out for me, I look out for them. And when I was young and I would play up with the older guys, and I would probably be the smallest guy on the court because I'm playing 1 or 2 years up, nobody's messing with me. Those guys had my back. And so as I, even when I went to college, some of the older guys looked out for me, and that kind of just became who I was. I became like, I had the big brothers that were older than me, and I was a smaller guy. So even the guys in my class that were taller than me, they were kind of like big brothers too. So, because I was the short guy. Yeah. But that kind of just became who I was. I kind of just, whether it's big brother, little brother, I kind of like to be there for everyone else, and I really care. And so that really just, it instilled that team value in me. And so whether I'm Chris Martin, the laid back guy, I still care about you, or whether I'm the coach and I'm talking trash and making you look in the mirror, I'm still that guy who cares. Yeah.
And I can see that in the way that you present yourself. Talk about mom and dad. You said you're an only child. You were a D1 athlete. That's not easy going down that path, man. My son's on his way trying to get into a D1 school as he's going there, and it's not easy, man. So
no, it's not.
It's hard.
It is. Yeah. Nicole, yeah. So you were a soccer player and so forth. Nicole, you're an athlete, right? So, so see, Marty, talk about your journey to D1 athletics, how you got there, the support of mom and dad. And again, let's keep framing the audience of who you are and how you got to achieve those goals and how you ended up in LA.
Yeah. So my parents were always separated, but mom, she made sure I always went to the right schools, played on the right teams, make sure I got to practice. And mom was just like, do you really want to do this? And I'm like, yeah, I want to do it. So she was super supportive in making sure that her son could follow his dreams. And I got a scholarship, so she didn't have to pay for college. So she was like, hey, yeah, I'm going to make sure you get to practice. And then, my dad played ball too. My dad played at Georgetown University in D.C. And so my dad was more like he kind of just kept it real with me. And I kind of mentioned this on your podcast when I spoke to you a while back. And just one example, my dad was just like, I called him frustrated one day, and he was like, look, man, relax. He was like, at the end of the day, he was like, whether you go to the NBA, whether you don't, I'm still going to love you. You're still Chris, Yeah. So don't let this stuff rattle you. It doesn't define who you are. And when he told me that kind of changed my whole mindset and helped me deal with some of the adversity that I had to deal with college basketball. And it kind of, both my mom and dad helped shape me into the man I am today.
It says a lot that, like, clearly you were on, like, you like myself, you like to use self-deprecating humor with yourself, and you said, yeah, I'm a nerdy dude. Clearly getting that scholarship didn't happen by accident. Right. Like, you put the work in. You weren't afraid to put the academic work in.
Yep. No, you're right. I mean, I went to private school from 7th grade and up, and I went to some pretty good schools that challenged me academically. So that kind of just, that helped. It helped, and it kind of shaped how I view things. You said I view things from a different lens, and it kind of shaped how I view things from a different lens, and it shaped my creativity, as far as making my content, as far as coming up with workouts, as far as relaying my message. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I can see it's funny, Nicole, because when I met C Marty on the show, what struck me as I was getting to know him, and I'm glad that he has the pillow behind him there, but deep down, he's a brilliant marketer, right? And I want you to tell the story, man. I want you to tell the story of how less brunches, more crunches came to life, because you told me on our show and we sat down and I laughed, man, because you said, what? How did that come to life?
So I was with one of my friends on a Sunday, and we went to Soul Cycle. I tried different stuff. I know it's probably weird to see me in Soul Cycle, but I was in there. I did a class, and DC is a big brunch city, so we went to brunch right across the street from Soul Cycle, and literally, so I posted Soul Cycle on my story, and then I posted my brunch plate, and I don't know how I thought of it, but I just wrote less brunches, more crunches. And people were like, yo, that sounds crazy. What is that? And I was like, I just wrote it. And somebody said, you should put it on the shirt. So I put it on the shirt, wore it to the gym, and everyone was like, what is that? And they asked me to sell shirts. So I invested a couple $100 in shirts and sold out. And that's how Less Brunches, More Crunches was created.
Are you kidding me? So you said to yourself, I'm going to go buy some shirts. You went and found some swag. You spend a couple $100.
Yeah.
Like, that's entrepreneur, Nicole. Like, that is entrepreneur. That's like you in the farm there going, okay, we're going to go grab some eggs from the chickens and go and sell them. It's just knowing that there's value in something, right?
Yep. Totally.
That's it, man. That's me. I'm always trying to come up with new ideas and come up with new things. And if you go on like TikTok and you type in some of the phrases I use, like big back activity, it's all over TikTok. And I just put it in a video randomly, and it's all over the place.
So I'm glad you brought that up. Big back activity. Talk about big back. Talk about
big back activity.
Yeah. That's it. And I love that you have the sound generator, man. You've inspired me to get mine set up, because I'm like, dude, I love how organized you are for your shows, and I got a board in front of me too. And I know Nicole and I, when we're doing our segments on Creator Spotlight and shit, I frantically try to find my applause. I just got to pause for a moment, see Marty, to put my applause in my button, just like you got your
help you out. I can help you out, OG. I can help you out.
Talk about the origination of Big Back and Big Back activity, and how did that come to life for you?
Man,
And what does it mean?
So I literally just said it in a video. It was totally random. There was no strategy behind it, nothing. And I just said it, and everyone was like, "Oh yeah, I like that Big Back activity." And Big Back activity is anything that you're doing that your trainer wouldn't tell you to do, that aren't anything that's not aligned with your fitness goals. So if you're trying to shrink your waistline and your trainer says, "I need you to eat XYZ, cut out alcohol, cut out fried foods," and you go
Cut out bunnies.
Cut out bunnies, and you go on Sunday and drink bottomless mimosas and fried chicken and waffles and drench it in syrup, that's a Big Back activity. Your trainer didn't tell you to do that. So, that's Big Back activity.
That is Big Back activity. So it's funny because I'm going to adopt that in my life now, frankly. And I'm going to look at food around my house, Nicole, and I'm going to be asking myself, is that a Big Back activity? And I'm going to be thinking, yes, that's a Big Back activity, because if I stay down this path, I'm going to end up with a big ass back. Right, CMartyFit?
Hey, that's a good way to look at it. That's looking in the mirror. That's what I was talking about earlier. That's looking in the mirror.
No, but I can't see the mirror from behind me.
Well, you know how your shirts fit, or
or how the pants fit up on the buttocks, right? Yeah, exactly. Speaking of, let's just have a little bit of fun this morning with this here. So Chris goes with this yesterday.
Zoe. Because people doing like this.
Yeah, I saw this one.
What are you working on here? Cardio? The Stairmaster's already cardio. You don't need to be jumping on the Stairmaster. It's already a cardio machine. The top bodybuilding competitors and the top athletes get on the Stairmaster, get in peak shape, drop body fat, and you doing this so we can watch your ass clap. That's what it is. You doing this for social media. Tell people,
that's
don't
crazy.
get fooled out here by paying for a program from someone like this and have you doing some like this, because this ain't getting you no result. Yeah, this is not the real gym culture. So any of y'all that think that this is just what the gym is, a whole bunch of girls in there clapping their ass.
All the comments.
It's
that was crazy.
See, Marty, aren't you? So as somebody who's built a career in the fitness industry and the lifestyle industry, aren't you just flabbergasted by the amount of that kind of content that just gets populated across the feeds? And you must just scratch your head going, who told you to do that?
It's insane. I don't know if you saw what I posted yesterday.
Yes, I did.
But I mean, I see stuff like that all the time because people just send me stuff now.
Yes,
they just send me stuff every day. And the amount of content like that is crazy. And honestly, I could do a video on that daily.
Yes.
Like similar to that, but I'm not, that's not going to build my brand off of that. But it's insane. So I'm gonna try to do one of those at least once a week, maybe bump it up to 2 or 3 times a week.
Yeah.
With the amount of content I get. So it's kind of just like trial and error, but
it is.
The gym culture is changing. And so I just want to shine light on how it's BS. And we gotta change the culture back to actually working out, getting results, changing mindsets, and making people's lives better.
Yeah. Michael Hawkins, I'm with you, man. Popeyes, 5 guys and French fries? Yes.
That's another one of my phrases that I just came up with off the top of my head. Like, I'm telling you. Shout out to Mike.
We're talking Popeyes chicken, right? So we're talking Popeyes chicken?
Popeyes chicken.
Oh, yeah.
5 Guys burgers.
Oh, yeah.
And French fries in general.
Yes.
I'm getting hungry after all this brunch and French fry talk.
We're talking a lot about some good food.
Yes, we
Bad
are.
food, but it tastes good.
It does taste good. Yes, yeah. When I was training for Kilimanjaro, you guys, I on my 10-day training scenario for that, I did like a simulation of the day that I summited, and that day I spent 9 or 10 hours in the gym, like just like going up and down the turf and pulling a sled, pushing a sled, and I timed my summit that day with 5 guys. So it was like noon. I had some guys head to the 5 guys down the road. So my summit that morning for training with Kilimanjaro was in the gym on the counter. There was 2 big ass burgers that I just crushed before I went down the mountain for the afternoon. So that was my peak. Good times. Love Five Guys, man. Five Guys burgers are the best.
It's good, man.
I've never had it.
You haven't? Oh,
It's good. It's good.
Is it? I don't know if we must have one in Portland, but we don't have one out here where I live.
yeah. We'll have to get you to Five Guys. See, Marty, you mentioned before we get into Creator Spotlight coming up in a few moments. I like to get Creator Spotlight in around this time. You said something, see, Marty, which struck me. Gym culture.
Mm-hmm.
The camera's a little stuck here. I think there.
I think you're frozen.
Froze a little bit.
Yeah, hold on a second here. There we go. Gym culture is changing. I think it is too. I really want to hear your perception on this, see, Marty.
Yeah, like I said, we need gym culture to get back to making people better, stronger, working out for longevity, changing mindsets. It's now become the club, right? Think about the club. They're trying to holler at girls, trying to get attention from guys, wearing revealing clothing. Dudes got their shirt off. It's just it's getting out of hand, and it discourages people from going to the gym.
Of course.
So if you got the mom or the dad who's neglected themselves, they're taking care of the kids, they're working, slaving at work, and they're like, man, I got to get in the gym, and they see all this BS on social media. It's like, I don't want to go to the gym. It might intimidate them. And then you got the people on steroids. You got these girls with these surgeries. You don't know who's real and who's fake. So that can discourage people too. So I talk about it. Hey, this girl's fake. This guy's on steroids. Don't let it discourage you. So I kind of just shine a light on it, and I don't see too many people doing it. You got the Joey Swoles and a couple other guys. But
do you like what Joey's doing? Nicole, Joey Swalls, he's an Instagram influencer. He's been on social for a number of years, big fitness guy, bodybuilder guy. And over the years, Chris, he's changed his persona to call out the misbehavior happening in the gyms. Do you align with that philosophy, Chris?
I definitely align with Joey Swole, but he's trying to take a clean route. He doesn't want to offend people. I don't care if I offend you. I'm gonna sometimes it needs to be called out in a certain tone with certain words, and I'm not scared to do that. Joey Swole is really nice about it. So I think it's ridiculous, and then we got kids watching too. We got little girls watching these girls doing all this BS in the gym, and it's messing up the next generation of people who'll be in the gym. So I think it's crazy, and it needs to be said how I said it.
So I love that about you, Nicole. That's one thing that I like about Chris is that while one might not agree with some of the ways that you might communicate some of that, I like the way where you come from, because I have little girls, and I know the stuff you're seeing. You're like, I don't want my kids growing up like that.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
I don't have any kids yet, but I'm sure one day I'll have a daughter. And if I see that in the gym, there's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem.
Yeah. You say that gym culture turned into a club, and that's probably the best way to put it. Perpetuated by social media, perpetuated by I need to create content, perpetuated by so much money in the fitness industry, especially with social and so forth. Do you see it changing? I know I teased at the beginning of our chat here about Ozempic and Wegovy and weight loss drugs. Is that just perpetuating, Chris, the club atmosphere of the gym? I can just show up, take my drugs, and pretend that I'm working out, but yet I'm doing stuff behind the scenes that's actually making it this way. Like, what's your POV on that industry?
It's making it worse.
Yeah,
that's a whole different topic with the weight loss drugs, but it's making it worse. A lot of people don't actually know what it takes, and the whole mentality of sacrifice, grinding, it's going away, and people don't understand. Like, hey, you got to work hard, just like you show up to work and work hard, or just like you work hard for your kids. You got to work hard for yourself if you want some results, and just the basic. The basic knowledge of, okay, obesity or accumulating all this fat on my body for years is what leads to these preventative diseases. Like, we can prevent a lot of things that happen to us. A lot of people don't know that. They just like, it runs in the family, but nobody gets on the treadmill and runs in the family. so people don't know that they can prevent it. You know?
Yes.
That's another phrase I use a lot. But I had to throw that in there.
Yes.
But, yeah, the weight loss drugs is definitely ruining the culture even more, and it's sad. And I get in arguments with people about it all the time. And it's like if being sedentary, eating bad foods, if that's what led to this, don't you think the opposite would get rid of that? And you don't need a weight loss drug to lose 40 pounds in a month. You're not supposed to drop 40 pounds in a month. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's true.
You've been gaining weight for 40 years.
Yeah.
You're not going to lose 40 pounds in 40 days. It's not happening. Sorry.
Yeah. I get concerned about years from now, right? When society wakes up, whether it's 12 months from now, 24 months from now, 36 months from now, and we start to see the result, the net effect results of people taking these drugs. And listen, I don't want to have judgment. Everybody has the reasons why. I'm thinking more of the psychological impacts. I didn't have to put the work in, and I got I didn't have to put the work in, but I still lost 30 pounds.
Yeah.
Well,
that's what magic is, right? That journey from when you start to hitting your goal, you know, and you can't really explain that to people until they go through it themselves, you know, whether it's a weight loss journey or anything really hard in life, you know.
That's exactly
Absolutely.
my point, Nicole. And that's what concerns me, Nicole, is that we're perpetuating this culture of shortcuts, right? And because you're right, Nicole, it's the process, the performance along the way. When you're training for your marathon, it's not the last day of it. Hey, Chris, it's not the last set. It's getting up in the morning, having the food before, getting the right sleep in the night before. It's everything that goes into when you walk into that moment. That's what I don't like about this.
Yeah. Well, and it's not rainbows and butterflies either. It sucks, you know, but
it sucks. And just to throw some quick science in there with these weight loss drugs, a lot of people don't realize, you're losing weight. That's amazing. But one, you're not losing body fat.
Yes.
And you're losing lean muscle. That's why you're losing weight so quickly.
Yes.
And a lot of people don't realize, like, we need a certain amount of muscle mass just to perform optimally in life. You don't want to lose the 30 pounds in 30 days and then you neglected your muscle for all these years, and then you walk down the steps one day and break a hip because you've been neglecting muscle. You've been skipping leg day. You haven't been doing your squats like Keith was talking about earlier. So not only is the weight loss drug messing you up mentally, but even physically, you know, that's a whole different topic. I could talk about this all day.
Yes.
But, you know, you don't want to just lose lean muscle, and that's just it's sad. It's sad, and a lot of people are in for a rude awakening in the future, and I hate that for them.
Well, and I'm glad. Thank you for bringing that up, and we're going to flip the creator spotlight here in a second before we wrap the show up. But I'm glad you brought that up, Chris, because that's what concerns me the most as well. Is they're quick to lose weight loss, but not recognizing that strength that you're losing. Man, you don't want to bust a hip when you're 70 or 80. You don't want to, strength is the foundation for when you're 70, when you're 80. And Nicole, you and I talk all the time about, you know, being able to take our kids tobogganing up the mountain at 70, 80. Well, you need strength to do that. You don't need to lose weight when you're 70 and 80. You need to have strength. So if you want to be quickly losing weight right now, you're yourself up when you're going to be 70 or 80 thinking you're taking your kids down the mountain tobogganing. And that's what I don't like yourself, Chris. We're spending so much time talking weight loss. No, how about strength build?
And real quick, I know you want to move on, but the older you get, you know, specifically, not saying 40 is old. I don't want to offend anyone, but when
52.
I guess I'm ancient.
see, that's why I had to throw the disclaimer out there. But when you get up to age, when you get past 40, you lose muscle rapidly. You lose muscle faster each year. So as you get older, you know, you're if you're not working on those things, if you're not strength training, you're in for a rude awakening if you continue to neglect it. And then the weight loss drugs just make it worse. So just wanted to throw that in there.
No, that's fantastic. All right. So listen, let's, so if you disagree or agree with what Keith, Nicole, and Marty are talking about, I invite you to join our conversation. I invite you to knock on Chris Martin's door.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk
absolutely. About it. Yeah, we want to have this conversation, and we're going to continue to have this conversation. You're talking to an expert here, Chris Martin, CMartyFit, who wakes up every single day thinking about this, talking about this, helping people do stuff about this. So
studying.
Yeah, the nerd studies. So if you're looking for a quick fix, maybe just pause first. and ask yourself whether you need the quick fix or whether you just need some help. You need some accountability help. Maybe that's what you actually need, right? Instead of rushing to the quick fix. So, all right. So listen, let's just wrap up the last few moments of the show here with bringing in somebody who was on my show a while back, and I know is connected to CMartyFit. I want to shine the light today on. We're going to surprise this fellow right now, who I know made a pivot earlier this year. Malcolm Lemons is our creator spotlight today. He's a former pro athlete. He's the founder of Vetted Sports, and he provides insights around sports, technology, business. He is building a media platform and community for people working in and around sports technology. Now, I wanted to shine the light on Malcolm because, Chris, like I've talked, I'm a nerd too. I love tech. I love all this kind of behind the scenes stuff. And I'm really excited once I talked to Malcolm on my show a while back and he made the pivot. He's really just embraced this. I'm going to have conversations with investors, businesses, and really talk about the tech behind sports because, Nicole, CMartyFit, sports is changing so fast right now with tech. And having Malcolm at the middle of that is I think, is if you're listening to this right now and you're looking to learn about tech and sports and the business behind what's going on, you got to follow Malcolm Lemons. You got to subscribe to his newsletter because he's going to give you stuff to keep you up to speed. Chris, what's your relation with Malcolm?
I've known Malcolm since I was 11, 12 years old.
Yeah.
We've had teammates in the past, and that's I guess we just met through mutual friends and teammates. But I've known Malcolm for a long while. We went to rival high schools, and so I'm glad he's doing well. I haven't spoken to him in a while, but I see him on Instagram, and saying he'll see my stuff. But sounds like he's doing his thing, so definitely happy for him.
Yeah, he's definitely doing his thing, man. And I've been watching his pivot, Chris. I've been watching his pivot like on LinkedIn here, and it's awesome. I love when you see somebody. You know what I love? I love when you see the light going on for someone, right? Yep. And it's like, okay, they found their niche. And I guess in some ways, Nicole, it's like when I saw you, Chris. We met, and then I started watching, and I'm like, oh, okay, I see what he's building. It's like when less brunches, more crunches came on for you, right? It's like, boom. Light went on, you just kind of went after, right? And I've seen the same thing with Malcolm, and he's been creating great content. He's consistent, right? So again, nation, if you are looking for sports tech, sports information, stuff that's happening in this very narrow niche because it's happening quick, man, especially on the tech side of things, betting and technology weaving itself into Apple Vision Pro. I would highly encourage you to check out Malcolm Lemons here on LinkedIn. He's on Instagram as well. Hey, Chris, and I would certainly encourage you to check him out. So he's our creator spotlight today. Malcolm, what's shaking, my friend? We're going to create some content for you and get you out there and hopefully drive some viewers and drive some interaction with you out there as well. So every single day we invite somebody into the lab to do a creator spotlight and shine the light on them. And we are in the midst of, we're going to get some sponsors for that, you guys, because it's taken a life of its own on. So if you want to sponsor Creator Spotlight and you're listening, come knock on my door and we'll get you on the show for that. So guys, we're at the 55-minute mark. We got a minute before we close this baby up. I knew when I came in, Nicole, I always come in going, oh, what the hell are we going to talk about today? But today was as good as it always is. Nicole, I want to grab some time with you today, hopefully on the calendar. I'm going to see if I can grab maybe 15, 20 minutes later on this afternoon with you, if that's cool, to catch up on a few things. CMartyFit, what do you got planned today, my friend? You got a lift going on after this or what?
Yeah, I'm going to go lift, and then I'll be editing the rest of the day, probably doing some stuff around the house. I think I'm done with clients for the day, so I got all my clients in early.
Nice. Good for you. What's your lift today? You upper body, mid body? You got big back activity? What do you got going on today?
We got shoulders today.
Oh, me too. Yeah, me too.
Yeah, boulder shoulders. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I got boulder shoulders today, and I'm going to do a power zone ride on my Peloton today. I'm going to do a 60-minute, probably about a 35-kilometer ride today. So
yeah, I'm going to get some cardio in too. Probably 30 minutes. So
good for you.
And stretch and foam roll too.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's a good reminder, actually. We often don't talk about that part.
Yeah, you're getting older in age. Those muscles are getting tighter. You're sitting down all day at work. Definitely want to do that. Want to prevent some injuries.
Yeah. It's been a game changer for me, Nicole and Marty, has been, I adopted yoga into my life about 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, my goodness, man. So I love strength. I love strength training. I love it. I get such joy out of it. But what a nice compliment, right? When I can go down and do pigeon or go down and do happy baby or do splits or just do some good mobility. It's such a nice compliment. I love how I feel. I've really embraced that. You too, Marty?
Yeah, definitely. I feel great when I like doing my college stuff.
Oh yeah,
at 31.
Yes.
I love that feeling. So
yes,
I'm big on stretching.
Yeah. Nicole's got some funny faces as we're talking. Nicole, are you not a stretch?
All that running, you got to stretch, Nicole.
I know. I'm like 5'1", and I can't touch my toes. I'm like a 2x4. It's something I know I need to do.
We got this guy with the chocolate bunnies, and we got stiff Nicole on here. I'm done with y'all. I'm done.
I love it. I love it. I know that's how we had him on the show. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. Calling us out. It's good. So listen, that's how we show love here in the family, man. We got to throw each other under the bus and keep each other accountable.
Absolutely.
All right. So listen, tomorrow, Marty, you're joining us again tomorrow, right?
Yeah, I'll be here.
Awesome. I'm welcoming in. I think he's coming. I've been knocking on his door trying to get some pre-stuff from him, and I'm throwing him under the bus right now, Mr. Steve Halford, my friend. So I've known Steve for a long time. When I started ICUC, Steve was starting a media company called File Mobile, and then recently, a number of years ago, he started a channel called What If by a company called The Underknown. And I'm just going to do a quick little tease on. I'm just going to do a quick little tease here on the screen. But Steve started this What If. And it is a channel on YouTube that explores the question, what if? Like, what if the world lost oxygen for 5 seconds? What if you jumped into Lake Natron? What if you were swallowed by a whale, Chris Martin? What if you spent 5 seconds on Venus, Nicole? So he answers all these questions. It's incredibly entertaining content. Steve's going to join us tomorrow on the show. And look at what they got. They got, What If alone has almost 8 million subscribers.
Wow.
Exactly. Steve has built himself a successful business on YouTube around science content. So we're going to welcome Steve into the lab tomorrow if he shows up. I'm suspecting Halford's going to show up. So he's going to join us tomorrow. We're going to talk Halford and talk about his business, how he built that. We're going to talk about what if and all that fun around that. And we will see if Nicole stretched tomorrow. So Nicole, that's on your task list today. And we'll go from there. So, Nation, we're going to get out of here. Great show. Chris, thanks for jumping in today. Nicole, thanks for
having me.
100%, man. We got ourselves a nice little unit coming on here. And, Nation, if you're paying attention, there's stuff brewing here in the lab. So keep paying attention for more coming. So, Chris, last word to you, man. What do you got to say before we say goodbye?
Thanks for having me. And don't neglect your health. Make it a priority. There's someone with your profession, someone with the same amount of kids as you, someone with the same excuses you have who's getting it done. So find a way, and you can always shoot me a DM if you have any questions.
Awesome. Nicole Bernard, what do you got to say goodbye?
I ditto what CMartyFit said. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. I love it. Nation, I'm going to get my workout in. We'll see you guys a little. I got to plug my show here, guys. Noon Central, 1 o'clock Eastern time. I have Marouk. I hope I'm saying your name, Marouk. She is, let's show it up here. So she's our cricketing podcaster. I just learned something here today. So the cricketing podcaster, Marouk Imataz. I hope I'm saying your name right. If I'm not, I'm sorry. But you're joining me here today at 1 o'clock Eastern time. We're going to talk podcasting and so forth. She's got a successfully huge podcast. And she might be a little bit of a cricketer too. So I'm going to learn about cricket today here at 1 o'clock Eastern time, live and live with Keith Billis. And then, of course, we are back. Always, we're back in the morning. Mornings in the lab with myself, Nicole, and Keith. We're going to get out of here. We'll see you guys tomorrow. See you guys.
Bye, guys.
Ciao.
See ya.